They did so much work to this bow. You don't normally see that in a year, and you people out there should really appreciate it, because this is not normal 1 year innovation. This is 3 years worth of innovation in 1 year's worth of bow.
Hi guys, Dark Owl Archery. I've been trying it out for a little while. I kind of like it. Actually hunted with it, shot a couple axis deer with this Phase 4. I like the scope a lot. I have this one on a Tetra Rise, and I'm into it. So the 3-pen post, it's the most beautiful sight picture. It is super clean,
It is.
but it does come fixed. You have to know basically your arrow trajectory, your speeds, when you buy the sight. I have 3 different speeds here right now, and we are looking at my fastest bow. We're gonna put the fastest speeds, which is that 290 to 300 feet a second. That's what that one is. And it's funny because I shoot 291 to 300 feet a second, depending on if I'm using 75 or 80 pound mods.
So it'll be interesting to see if that actually works out right for you because of your length.
Yep.
Right? So it's not just your velocity, it's your distance from eye to peep, from peep to housing. So that might not work out the way you want it to, but I'd still start with that.
And it will be close though. It could
Yeah.
definitely 20 and 30 will be on, and now the question will be 40. Is it 40 or is it 38?
Sure.
You know, you can make your own, I believe. For an extra fee, you can put whatever you want on your scope. So maybe you want to put Podium Archer.
Oh, snap.
Look at that.
That's a nice
fit. Should be clear.
Okay.
I do got to say that UV hit it out of the park with the ergonomics of the slider. Like the size of the wheel and the index flipping it up, it is.
Yeah, there's very little to ask that sight to do that it's not already doing. Honestly, I do wish it had a 0-stop 20, like a way to independently set
That's the
top
first
rail.
thing I messaged them about.
Yeah.
Was, hey, where's the stop?
Yeah, where's the stop? It needs to stop at the top.
I think it'll have in the 2.0 version. I actually guarantee
would be shocked. Yeah, there's not much they left to do because they've like done everything.
You've been working out? I know, and I text you.
No.
I text you to bring workout gear, and you said.
Yeah, wait till fit. That's what I'm doing.
I said, bring your workout gear, and you said no.
I said, hell no. I was like, no.
Do you know how many
No,
people
I've got
ask?
to, when I'm done here, I got to go over to my cousin's and put my tracks on my razor. So
All
I have
right.
several. So this, I'm assuming, goes in there.
What about this guy? Does this fit better?
Same
This
screw.
is what came. I think we should use what the Dark Owl boy Cody sent me.
Only worry is if thread's the same. Ah, just
like a glove.
right.
Like a glove. I mean, when you get that where you want it, you like crank it. Man, look at that strength and power.
Okay. I like that noise.
That was a good noise.
You don't ever feel you'd have a situation where you want to dim it down?
Do you?
A
dark
from a
scope?
hunting standpoint, I don't know why I would, but I would also state that if you just simply move it to the bottom, it won't affect a thing. Because light's not coming from the ground.
That's true.
Right? Light's coming from around you, but it's not coming from below you. Unless you're shining a light up from your feet, then maybe.
Maybe
You're holding your phone with the light on, pointing out below you.
Whatever.
Try to move it out of there.
A lot of innuendo, potion
Hey,
innuendos.
that is legal. That is 100% legal. It's not bolted to your bow. That's the dumbest thing in the world, too. Like, you can be sitting in a ground blind and have a light attached to the blind. That's legal, but it can't be on your bow.
The language is terrible. Yeah.
Like, this is so dumb. I remember I was trying one at one point to run a fiber optic, like all the way from up here, all the way to my sight. It's not on my bow. It is not attached to my bow. It's attached to me. I had like a sleeve thing, and you could turn it on right here. And I just want to be able to shoot during legal shooting light and see my pin.
From the bottom.
Like, how hard is that?
Right.
The other issue with this thing is it seemed like they didn't have fine enough clicks.
Really?
Yeah. If you go out to a hundo,
One click is too much.
one click's too much. Yeah. That's fine. That'll work.
Okay.
That'll work. I would assume it's still level because you've got a square-edged machine bracket and a square-edged machine bracket. I don't know why it wouldn't be level.
Want to put levels on it just to be fun?
Well, it doesn't hurt. Check. Well, you are cutting into my installing tracks time.
We're gonna hustle
tonight.
now.
She is not level, sir.
Let's get it leveled. And then also, why we're doing this, you have a channel with a video on the lift 33 and 29.5 that you published yesterday.
Yeah.
This video is probably a month later now. Let's hear some of your doodads about it, like some of your.
Oh, the lift's dope. Like there's a reason that I got uber excited about it is because traditionally when a bow manufacturer makes a new product, they aren't changing every stinking thing about that product.
Right.
Like they'll come out with a new riser one year, they'll come out with a new limb one year, they'll come out with a new cam one year. Nobody ever redoes a riser, a limb, and a cam. It's very rare.
That's cool.
It really is. And 2 manufacturers actually did that this year. The amount of change they made in this bow is so drastic that it's kind of hard to argue. When's the last time you remember a bow manufacturer dropping a half a pound out of their bow's physical weight and not changing the dimension or making it longer?
Do you know that
Like,
this
it's
bow,
crazy.
this aluminum bow, is like decimals away, like a couple from the carbons, as far as just aluminum?
Well, so in my vibration test, that had less vibration than the carbon did.
Interesting.
Which you're talking, vibe and noise are usually a direct reflection of each other.
Talk to me about reflex.
So this bow has 2 inches of reflex, which is not an ideal scenario for me. I'd like to see it be less than that, but they're like the Mach 30 that just came out has 3. So I mean, it's all a parameter of what you're trying to build, right? So if you're on a 30 inches of axle to axle and you're running a 6-inch brace height, it's hard to not have a decent amount of reflex like that, because how long is your limb? Where does it attach? Your reflex point is off of here.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can't move the position back here, you're going to end up with a certain amount of reflex. And it's usually a direct reflection of how long your limb is. So when you start getting into really short bows, which I shouldn't say really short because this is pretty normal anymore, but I'm going to still call it really short. When you start getting this short, how long your limb is going to dictate how much reflex you have. So if your limb is 1.5 inches longer here, you need to move that forward 1.5 inches to get the right brace height. Well, that means your grip is that much farther behind the pivot point. So the only way you're getting around it is if your limb pocket is wider. And that's one reason why this bow, the design of it actually appears to have less reflex, but the negative aspect of it is the limb pocket's shorter. So where the limb and the limb pocket attach makes it have more reflex than the riser geometry typically has. That being said, it is a relatively phenomenally shooting bow. It's got a really wide stance to it. Wide stance helps with the torque. So the wider you make this, the more you can kind of get away with this. That
I
helps.
need a lot of that.
We all need a lot of it. Let's
Last
be real.
question on this.
Yeah.
This is for y'all. Josh, what's your draw length?
30
What's
and a half.
Mine's 27, right? So I try to tell people, yes, I always go with the shorter bow, and I do a terrible job explaining why. So give them like the technical term, but here's the dumb knuckle dragger term is like, I get maximum efficiency out of the 29 and a half. I start at the bottom end on the 33.
So bows are designed to be shot at a certain size, and it's usually typically to the peak of the length of it, right? So if a bow's designed to go to 30, it's going to be most efficient 29 to 30. If a bow's designed to go 31 and a half, it's going to be most efficient from 30 and a half to 31 and a half. Right, and we're just taking Mathews as an example.
Yep.
So when you're running a shorter draw length, you're better to shoot something closer to its peak if you can.
Yep.
Because of the amount of efficiency you're going to get out of it. If you put a 33 bow on you, it's not going to shoot super efficient. Like it's going to be way slower. Now, and that's just a byproduct of this cam is really designed to be shot on the longer end, and then they try to make it fit shorter people.
Yep.
And until we get to a point that it's cost effective to make short cams on a small scale, because there's only such a percentage of people, right?
Yep.
It all boils down to what fits the majority of people. Hence why they have these big adjustable cams and these multiple modules. I just cleared a section in my shop that is 3.5 feet high and 8 feet long.
Of mods?
For just these two bows. To cover every module they make.
Yep.
Because now we have 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Right?
And the X.
And
X.
Let me finish. That's poundage. And then you have an extra inch of draw length adjustability in the bow that wasn't there before.
Yep.
Right? So now you have, I want to say it's 12.
Yep.
And then you have 2 let-offs.
Yep.
Just to cover 1.
Yep.
So if you hang them, and they're in packages this big, right? If you take that in a package that big and space it out, it's 3.5 feet by 8 feet.
And most dealers aren't going to do
No
that.
one's stocking that. No one's dumb
Most
as me.
dealers-
No one's dumb as me. Forget what it's like to stare right at a light and try to look at an adjustment. Key grip.
What is it?
Key grip. I'm going to loosen both of these up. I just can't. It was hitting me just right to where I couldn't see it.
Now you're doing something.
Do that again better.
High five. All right, guys, so we got the Dark Owl scope on the UV slider. I'm going to run with this for a while just because I'm a tinker, right? And I had Josh's help. So, Josh, just want to clarify. There's not a second axis independent adjustment?
There's not an individual scope adjustment. So
Okay.
this is where everything adjusts for your bubble and the rail. And in theory, if
'Cause it's
everything's-
married.
It's married. And if everything's machine square, which if that's not adjustable and this goes into a square peg and that's a square peg, it should just bolt right on. And it worked fine. No issues there. And it is a relatively easy swap to do. There's just a screw underneath it when you take it apart. And it's easier if you take the head all the way off. So as long as you have a square base that you're going from scope to scope. You should be able to interchange this relatively easily. I don't know if they're even offering the sale of the sight without the head yet.
I think they are.
Well, they were going to,
Oh, okay.
but it always said out of stock and you couldn't order it.
Okay.
Right. So, and if they're doing a smart business plan, if you really want that sight, you're going to order it with the head they make you take. Right. They're not going to you can't order it with a 2-pin head, or you can't order it headless. Or at least you haven't been able to. I should get on and check. It's been a little bit. But, so that's going to come on there already, and then you can swap it out for whatever you want. And there's lots of choices, but this one's pretty slick. It's definitely worth a good look. It's clean.
Yeah, I'm going to run with it.
The pin is really tiny and fine, and I like that.
And the speeds I'm getting right now are, with the 80-pound mods, on a 425, I'm getting 300. What are you getting?
There's speeds you've never seen in your life.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I haven't set one up.
You haven't set one up yet?
No, dude. You know how many bows I've tuned and videoed in the last
All
2
I care
weeks?
about is the ones that are
I like the bow a lot. I really do.
Are you going to go 29 and a half or 33 for out west?
So I have a 29 and a half at the house right now that I may throw together really quick because hunting season here opens in a week and a half. More than anything, I want to abuse the strings and see how they wear.
Yep.
Because they're claiming some pretty impressive stuff for a manufactured string that comes on a bow.
What do you think of my strings?
Honestly, for how long you've
got
had it,
2,000 arrows
and
on
I'm
it.
very familiar with how you treat your strings. This is holding up really good. Like what I have seen, I am very, very impressed, which I'm excited about because to put a $150 type of string on a bow, which is normally what you got to spend to get these kind of results, they only added $30. Oh yeah, and by the way, they machined another half a pound out of the bow. They redesigned the limb, they redesigned the cam. I mean, they did so much stuff, and only asking you $30 more for what you're making. It's amazing and impressive. It really is, and I am not a fanboy. I hate that you get that when you say positive things about, the most popular bows in the industry, but they did so much work to this bow. You don't normally see that in a year, and you people out there should really appreciate it because this is not normal 1-year innovation. This is 3 years worth of innovation in 1 year's worth of bow. Most manufacturers don't do that. I kind of expected a big jump because last year they didn't change a ton. Now granted, making a new limb system with rubber inside of it is a big deal, and it'll hold up super well and lower the vibration a little bit, which is cool. Nobody else did that, and that's a big jump, but you didn't see a big output. There's a huge output for you here. So if you are looking in the market, you have to at least take a look at that bow. It's damn impressive.
There you go, the man himself. Guys, head over to Spokane Valley Archery. Shoot the best 3D course in the Northwest. That's yours, by the way.
Thanks, buddy.
His team, you are fully stocked with all the mods. $50,000 worth of mods.
At my cost.
At his cost, and all the bows, but I'm stoked on this. I know it's about a month later, but just want to give you guys an update on my strings. My bow is in time. I haven't just timing once, and like I said, I'm over 2,000 arrows, and I don't even have the shot sense in yet, which tracks your arrow count, which is pretty cool. Love it. Mathews making some big splashes in 2023, 2024, and I'm doing some tinkering, bringing you along. Appreciate your support. Catch you on the next one.